Welcome, fluid art and Dutch pour artists. My name's Dawn and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do a Dutch pour. I'm using a 24 by 24 inch canvas and I'm going to flood that canvas as far as the background with two colors. I'm going to use the black and the white from Artist Loft, their Flow acrylic paint. And then I chose to do mostly blues today, and I'm going to stick a few different colors in as well. So let's take a look at those colors. I'm going to start with the first strip using Phthalo Blue by Liquitex Basics. Next up, Sterling Silver by Deco Art. Then we're going to come in with Prussian Blue by Liquitex Basics. Then Light Blue by Artist Loft. Next up is Iridescent Violet Blue by Pebeo. Then Metallic Blue by Artist Loft. And then finish it off with Iridescent Blue Green by Pebeo. So I'm excited to see how these colors come out. Incorporated quite a few metallics, so I love what those colors do when they get blown out together. Now, when I get back, I'm going to have my canvas flooded for you already, and those were the background colors, white and black, and then we'll start laying the strips of color. See you back soon. Welcome back, everyone. So I went ahead and flooded my canvas. On this area I have that Artist Loft black flow paint, and over here I have the Artist Loft white flow paint. Covered all my edges. So I did switch the paint up just slightly. I went ahead and took out the Metallic Blue by Artist Loft, and I'm gonna go ahead and incorporate the Metallic Cobalt Blue from Artist Loft. So you might want to just kind of listen a little bit closer to that part of the video when I get to laying down the strips of paint. So I am gonna put a little bit of a pattern throughout this area and take my strips of paint up through the center here. So because of that, I'm going to go ahead and lay down a little bit of black first over here and a little bit of white so that I have that paint incorporated just like I do down the center line. So over here, I'm going to go ahead and put down some black that's going to come through about right here. And then I'm going to put some white over in this section. Again, just a little bit in order to make sure I have a little bit of each. So over here, we'll probably come down through about there, and there's a little bit of a bubble. Okay. And let's pop you. All right, so let's go ahead and get to going here, laying down my strips of paint color. The first one I'm going to start with, my bottle's decided to ooze when I opened it up and shook it. So the first strip of color we're going to use is the Phthalo Blue by Liquitex Basics. Next up, we're going to add the Sterling Silver by Deco Art. Next up is that Metallic Cobalt Blue by Artist Loft. This one is what I switched out. So Metallic Cobalt Blue by Artist Loft. Next up, Prussian Blue by Liquitex Basics. Next, Light Blue by Artist Loft. Then I'm going to go ahead and put down the Iridescent Violet Blue by Pebeo. And finally, we'll finish off with Iridescent Blue Green by Pebeo. All right, let's go ahead and pop any bubbles. We don't want those little guys to show up. And we're gonna go ahead and start blowing this out. I'm gonna use my little flower hair dryer. Love this little thing. We're gonna use it on low. So here we go. Cross your fingers. I'm excited to see how this turns out. So here we go. All right, I love it. The hints of pink turned out great. This is gorgeous over here against that black background. And I really like how there's a little bit more of a defined look from the paint going around the edges on the black side. Love how that turned out. I'm glad this white kind of stayed just a tad bit separated over in here, so things aren't so close. So I really like how that ridged and then went up through. Oh, and the pops of color, that teal, cobalt blue speckled in there. The cells are so awesome. Holy cow. Now, like always, I always worry about what's going to happen in between here because of how much paint there may be, but there's not a lot. I just kind of poked my finger in the center to kind of see how deep that is. I hope it'll set up pretty well in the middle. Oh, and that silver. Wow. All right, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna leave it. And I'm gonna clean off the edges and then I'll bring everyone down for a close-up view. Be back in a bit. So here's the finished piece, everyone. Woohoo! These colors mixed so well together. This was so much fun. So I cleaned all the edges off, took care of all the drips. I'm going to bring you in for some close-ups. I'm really happy I chose to do that metallic cobalt blue from Artist Loft. And I already had that iridescent blue green, which is kind of turquoise color too, but it's a little bit lighter. And I feel like it helped, the cobalt blue helped tone the blue down just a little bit, so it made it look a little bit deeper. Get a little bit closer. The veins of that pink popped up in just the perfect places. I'm so happy with the pink. It didn't take over. Has some cool lacing up there at the top, left side. Again, some veins of that teal, that cobalt blue. Back up a little bit. See the full piece again. And we're going to go over towards the right side this time. I mentioned before the edges on this black side, and I can't be more happy. I like how the edges are just very defined, and I like that, especially since I added the sterling silver. Sometimes it likes to fog outward slightly, if you know what I mean. But there's just some really cool defined borders. So I'm really happy with how that came out. And then we'll take you up to that right side. Now if everything just stays in place. Again, I already kind of felt in that middle area, and it seemed like that paint wasn't too heavy in the center, so I should be good. I don't want it to move. So if you've liked what you've seen today, give me a thumbs up. Love you to subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to build my channel up. That way you don't miss out on future posts. And let me see what you have to say in the comments. What do you think about this piece? What do you want me to try maybe next time? I'm up for anything, any kind of colors. So until next time, everyone, take care.